When you do a graphing by translations problems, what you're going to have to do involves a few steps. So, step one, draw the parent graph. Step two, list the translations. And step three, show the shifted graph. Okay, so let's run through the three steps. Step one, what is the parent graph? So if I look at this equation that I'm supposed to be graphing here, do you see the squared? So this is a play off of the parent graph y equals x squared, and I should know what that looks like. I know that's a parabola, and I know it goes through 0, 0, 1, 1, and negative 1, 1, and it looks like a U shape. This is an important thing for you to memorize. You should know what this looks like. So this is what we call drawing the base graph or the parent graph. We need to get that drawn right away, and it needs to be memorized. You must show 3 dots. You must show those 3 main points. The second thing is to do what we call list the translation. So for any number that's been stuck onto this, like this -2 on the outside, how does that change the graph? Well, that's going to shift the graph down 2. Remember, on the outside, plus and minus go up and down exactly the way that you think it should. But let's remember, what happens when we add or subtract on the inside? Okay, that's our left and right, but remember, insides are backwards and stupid. So this is going to shift the graph left by 1. So this is listing the translations, listing in words what the graph is going to do based on those 2 translations. Now, the last thing to do is to shift the graph. And here's how I do it. I always start with the vertex or that 0, 0 number. I know I need to shift this dot down 2 and left 1. So I'm going to put it there. Start by shifting the vertex. Now, because there is no stretch, I'm going to go right 1 from that vertex and up 1, which is what we normally do, and put a dot for my secondary point. Go back to the vertex. We're always going to go left 1 and then up or down whatever our stretch was. And since there is no stretch, that will be a 1. And then we redraw the graph. And that is our final answer. Let's do this again with something a little bit more difficult. So let's look at our next example here. What is our parent graph here? Well, this is an absolute value equation. So y equals the absolute value of x is our parent graph or our base graph that we need to draw. So let's go ahead and draw that. Remember, we're going to have a dot at 0, 0, and this is the one that looks like a V. So it goes through 1, 1, and negative 1, 1, and it is straight lines. When you are doing a absolute value, make sure you are using straight lines. When you are doing a parabola like we did in the last example, make sure that it looks curvy. Don't give me straight lines. That will be considered wrong. Now that we've got our parent graph drawn, we need to list the translations. So that -4 on the outside, that is going to make us shift down 4. So we're going to say shift down 4 to list the translation for the 4. What is the +2 going to do? Well, remember, insides are backwards and stupid, so plus, we think it goes right, but it doesn't. This is going to be a shift left 2. And then we've got this third number now. What does multiplying on the front do? Well, since 3 is a bigger than 1 number, this is going to be a vertical stretch by 3. Now that we have listed a translation for each of the things that we have changed, we'll go ahead and move the graph. So I always start with that quote unquote origin, that 0, 0. It needs to go down 4 and left 2 and go right there. Now we need to stretch it by 3. Remember, we do that by starting at that new point. We're going to go right 1. It's always 1. And then since it's a stretch by +3, we'll go up 3 and put in our next dot. Go back to the origin. We're going to go left 1, always 1, and we're going to go up 3 because that's what the stretch looks like. And now we're going to go ahead and draw in our graph. Notice it looks skinnier because it's been stretched vertically.